Alrighty, y'all. So obviously we got the skill information for Mana, and she's looking crazy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, she's looking very good. So I want to talk about when the update goes live. It actually is gonna go live tomorrow at 4 a.m. in the morning. At this point of time, I should have probably just landed to where I'm going on vacation. This is my last video for the day, and then you're not gonna see a video tomorrow probably, just because I mean you might like later in the day, because I have to obviously do the showcase for Mana. But yeah, let's talk about if you should be summoning for her, right? Because this character is looking quite crazy. But remember, she is a missileless character. She is a missileless character, so it's not like she's limited. It's not like she's a pilgrim, and even if she was pilgrim, she would still not be added to the wish list. So it's like, should you need to summon? Honestly, I feel like this character is a game changer. I feel like this is like Summer Anise game changing, where they kind of have her as like an attacker, but she's honestly doing a role of a lot of different things, right? She is a DPS for sure. And then has her freaking support mechanics, right? She revives on a passive. That's the first thing, right? The moment an ally dies, she just instantly revives them, right? But in like basically for reviving an ally, she loses her first skill, right? Which I feel like is a fair trade-off, because her first skill basically makes her heal all allies every 10 normal attacks, and then also just gives her a permanent 58% attack buff until an ally dies. Like, I feel like that's a good trade-off. You're reviving a character for just like all that first skill, right? And then her second skill, obviously, burst gauge filling, is very good. She gives herself an attack damage buff of 21%, an attack buff, more attack buffs of 63%, when you're entering a full burst under this metal, her skill 2 passive basically, right? And then obviously if you do lose it, right? You do lose it after a full burst ends in that status, but if you use her burst skill, you get it back like after the full burst ends, right? The full burst that like ends when you use her burst skill, you get that back. So I feel like this character is crazy good. I feel like she is. And another thing that I had noticed, especially at the end of my video, is she's a wind character, right? That's very good for the Kraken. First things first, sustain damage, and then dealing one, like, I mean, what, basically 400% of final attack and sustained damage every 1 second for 10 seconds, and then having a sustained damage like buff increase on top of the attack damage and crazy attack buff that she has for herself. This is the other win DPSs. Like, if you guys watch my channel, you know I literally made a video not even that long ago saying, bro, like, the characters you save for should be whatever the next win DPS is, because win doesn't have a DPS for real. They only have freaking Scarlet and then freaking maybe Sakura to an extent, right? But other than those two, they don't have a DPS. Now, not only did they get a crazy supporter, but they got a crazy DPS as well. I feel like this character is just bazonkers. The fact that this character is doing all this for herself, like, I'm talking about the buffs that she gives herself. The buffs that she gives herself is crazy. That's like team-wide buffs that she's giving to herself, right? Attack damage buff, constant attack buff, sustained damage buffs, and then having 400% of final attack and sustained damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, what? Yo, she's crazy. And then the revive, this character is kind of like a must-have in my opinion. I really do think this character is a must-have. But again, she is a regular missileless character. They're starting off 2025 with a bang at this point, right? It's so funny to me how, and I'm not gonna take myself from the equation, but I think it's funny how we all, not all of us, but a lot of us went from who the hell wanted this to, oh yeah, we're summoning, right? Including me. I'll take it. I was one of them. But hey, I'll be there. To have a revive on a passive, everybody's gonna need that, because the only other characters who have revives are 60-second cooldown characters, which is bazonkers. Like, Rapunzel and Anne are the only other characters in the game who have the ability to revive an ally, and they're on a 60-second cooldown. What am I gonna do with that? Like, be for real. She only can revive one time though. Like, in reality, she can only revive one time. I feel like if they ever make a character who has some type of way to like refresh passives, then Mana and whatever that character is gonna be crazy for revives. But other than that, I feel like this character is kind of like must have. One, for Kraken. Kraken needs another win DPS, like I said. And I'm sorry, Sakura, you've gotten benched. There's no way I'm putting Sakura over Mana here, right? An attacker burst 3 with all these buffs and sustained damage, it's just too much, right? So I'm gonna have Sakura or Scarlet and then Mana as my Kraken DPSs, right? And then again, my team with that would probably be Litter, or I could still have Alice on the team as well for my Sakura or my Scarlet, my bad. But I do want to try Crown, Litter, Naga, and then Sakura. No, I keep saying Sakura. Scarlet, and Mana. That's the team. Litter, Crown, Naga, Scarlet, and Mana, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because Naga dies. The thing is about Naga in Kraken, she's kind of useless now because obviously Mana is gonna be healing. So I feel like she's kind of useless there now until you unlock, like you hit, there's cores, never mind, I forgot. Kraken does have cores on the little tentacle thing that moves, right? Because I was like, why am I putting Naga if there's no cores? But the Kraken does have core on the little moving tentacle thing, right? So having that team, you're getting a lot of buffs, and then when Naga does die, she's instantly gonna revive because of Mana, right? And Mana's a win character type advantage. It's just so good for me. I love the Kraken. The Kraken is the only anomaly interception that I do. So having this character is going to be crazy. And if you guys take a look, when entering a full burst, affects one ally unit with the longest basic charge time. Charge time decrease. Guess who has that? They're literally setting you up for the Kraken. They're literally setting you up for the Kraken. That I'm so like in belief that specific line there was created for Scarlet. Like what? They're literally making it so much better. This character is a must-have for Kraken. Must-have. And just in general, having a good DPS. It's not like she just revives and that's all she does. She's a crazy DPS, y'all. She's not just a reviver and that's it. She's a broken DPS too. Put her on the team. That's the team right there. Crown, Naga, Litter, Scarlet, Mana. That's the team for Kraken. And then just put Mana on the team as a sub DPS for all I care. She's crazy. What are you talking about, bro? She's crazy. I would definitely say to summon for her. I do think it would be better for you to summon for her. And get her while she has her raid up banner, like just the one copy, and then you can get the rest of the copies through wishlist. But it is probably in your best interest to get her as soon as possible because she might make a very big difference in Kraken, right? Obviously I'm gonna have to try that out myself when I do get her, but if this character is making that much of a difference in Kraken, which she seems like she will, burst gauge filling increase, charge time decrease for Scarlet, a lot of damage, like damage buffs towards herself, final attack as sustained damage every 1 second for 10 seconds at 400%. Like, to give you an idea of of what that is, I'm gonna show you guys freaking Sakura, because Sakura has the same thing, right? Sakura has 35%. Well, she has this as well, right? 400% attacks 10 times short. 35% of final attack sustained damage every 1 second. That stacks up to 10 times that last 10 seconds. Like, that's what she has here, right? And then her sustained damage buffs are very, very little. Not to mention, if I don't want to use freaking what's her name? If I don't want to use Crown in them, I could always put on Rosanna, because Rosanna also gives all allies a sustained damage buff and then an attack damage taken increase buff. Pretty good, right? Not to mention the damage to parts is gonna be great. The freaking attack buff that stacks up 5 times for all allies. This is all good. Like, this is a good addition to Kraken now, guaranteed. So if you're asking me, should you summon, 100% try to get one copy of this, because this character might actually be a game changer for something that you do want. Kraken is the only boss that drops custom modules, so you kind of want that, right? But you guys let me know if you agree. If you don't, too bad. I'm getting her. I don't care. I'm out. Bye.